Welcome to the weekly home chat with Lisa and
I'm Carla with Craft Addict K.
with our guest Carla. Yes. So thanks for joining us. We're back for our, remember we're doing these every 2 weeks now for the weekly to get you up to speed on what you can do for your homework challenges on the Cross Stitch Facebook groups and keep you up to date with what's happening in all the challenge group news. So we're going to head straight into it. We're going to start with Laurie. NoNewStarts is in the middle of our Halloween expose. Tell us what's happening at the moment. Anything anyone needs to know?
No, the hayride is still going strong. If you haven't started last week, we still have another full week of the event. It ends on October 31st. And you have the first thing to do is to stitch for your ticket. That's 300 stitches for your ticket. And then once you're on board, your hayride will take you to 3 different excursions. The first one is apple picking, second one is pumpkin patch, third one is the corn maze. So in apple picking, it's 100 stitches. You can build your stitches like 500 stitch post for 5 apples picked, and you will get a raffle entry for every 500 stitches. You don't have to switch whips, but you get a bonus if you do. Then on the pumpkin event, it is 400 stitches per pumpkin, and you must switch whips between each pumpkin. And it takes 2 pumpkins to earn a raffle entry. On the corn maze, you have 6 rolls of the dice. When you roll the dice, you'll have extra stitches or something to do. So read the instructions in the post for the event, and you should be on your way. And we're there to answer any questions if you get stuck.
It sounds really cool, and I'm having lots of fun with it. My favorite event so far, I've been working through the corn maze, but I'm going to go back to some more pumpkins, I think. What about you, Carla?
Yeah, I was thinking pumpkins or maybe apples because I've got some quick stitching I need to do. So I thought apples would fit the bill.
And on originally on Saturday, Halloween was going to be our Whip Frenzy. So if you like the idea of the Whip Frenzy, the apples is actually replacing the Whip Frenzy this month. So you can run your own. You never know, there may be a pop-up, who knows? So you might want to frenzy away with apples. The other thing with NoNewStarts, just to give you a heads up, we're very excited. We've reached 222 participants for 2022.
I know, it's so exciting.
Cool milestone. But of course, there's room for plenty more. If you want to come and play, that's fine. Just make sure you answer the questions on the way in and accept the rules. And then if you decide it's not for you when you've read everything, you can leave, it's fine. But there's something for everyone. It's designed to be inclusive and just to get people focused on their stitching. So come and join us and have a great year. It's going to be super exciting, isn't it, Carla?
It is. I'm very excited. And you're right, it is set up for everybody to be inclusive. It doesn't need to be NoNewStarts, even though that's our name. There's definitely different sections you can do. You don't have to do NoNewStarts per se. So, and I think a lot of people are getting confused by that. And they're getting confused with the stitches for the month of the 1,500 stitches or 15 hours. It's not on every whip. It's just a combination of all of your stitching for the month. So I think that's been some 2 hurdles that we've heard that people were struggling with. So
and the idea of that is just that you're stitching. We want to encourage people to work on their whips to get their stitching done. It's basically, if you're doing 1 strand a day, you're going to be doing the minimum amount. It's not a huge minimum at all. So there's no need to stress. Push yourself if you need to get there, but you'll appreciate it. All right, let's move on to daily 30. So we're going to be covering both weeks. So we're going to go back to the one that started last week because these go for 2 weeks. So it's still current, obviously, except the daily 30. What is happening with that?
So daily 30. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lori.
Lori.
Postcard week started October 15th, but it runs through October 29th. And the stitch count for that week, it would be 200 stitches, 2 hours for 3 tokens, 300 stitches or 3 hours for 4 tokens. So first prompt would be stitch on a whip with a verse or words, not just the alphabet.
All right, Carla, what you got for this one?
You know what, I actually had most something for every prompt for this past week. So I was able to get most of those done. And I'm going to use my phone today to kind of show you, hopefully it's not too bright. But I used my Randall Spangler Sunday Delight because it's got the word ice cream and cherries.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that's what I used for that prompt.
Well, I've been on a bit of a monogamous mission for the 24 hours cross stitch, which is just finishing up this weekend, depending on your time zone. And I was working on my Anzac. And look, Te Aroha, 2 Maori words. So I was able to fit that in. So that made me very happy.
What does Te Aroha mean, Lisa?
I will have to look that up. Can I do a quick Google?
Yeah, I didn't
the
want
answer
to
to
put
that
you on
while
the
Laurie
spot.
tells
I
what she's
just
going to do? It's
that was an
Maori,
Aussie
not
thing.
Australian, so I'm not a native speaker. But I'll give that to you. Laurie, what do you got?
Got it. I would do coffee Quaker. Am I there?
Yep.
I would
Okay.
do
Yep.
coffee Quaker because it has words.
And to answer the question, it's the Mountain of Love. It's a town district that was created in 1886, and in a prayer he expressed deep affection for his land and people, and he named the mountain Te Aroha, meaning poetically the mountain of love or the loved one.
Oh, very nice.
So there you go.
Oh, thanks. I just was curious. I thought maybe that was an Aussie thing.
Okay, second prompt. Stitch on a whip that contains something you might collect. For 3 bonus tokens, tell us about something you collect that is not stitching related.
I know what I used for this one was, I believe, books, because books is something that people collect. And I'm scrolling through here to see if I can find the one that I used for it. But of course, it's not popping up on my phone because why would it? Oh, there it is. I used my gnome pattern that I got on Etsy, and it's a little gnome there sitting on a chair, and his feet are on the stack of books. And its name is Gnome.
That's cute.
And that's a Danis pattern, if anybody's interested.
Well, as much as I'd like to collect Australian animals, I don't. But what I do collect is actually musical instruments. And in my 12 days of Christmas, there are pipers, and drumming. So I collect musical instruments. But if I was a normal person, I would collect jewelry. So,
very nice.
This one was very hard for me. For the prompt itself, I think I travel, and it's relating to something that I collect, and I'll show you what that is in a second, but I would have to do, first off, World Travel Bookshelf. And I'm going to stop share it, and then I'll show you on my phone. I collect these little bubble toys. So every country or island I visit, I collect a little bubble toy, and those are on my desk at work. And so that is my bonus. And then world travel to that because I like to travel.
Awesome. That's cool. That would fit.
So third prompt is stitch on a whip that has 2 parts or that is divided in some way.
Oh, I did my Heaven and Earth Museum shelf for this, and I used it because the stairs divide the bottom level between the 2 sides, and there's stairs right there. So that's what I used.
Yes, it was a good prompt, this one, lots of options. But again, my monogamous stitching, I went with Anzac. There's 2 parts in there's Australia and New Zealand, and they are divided by circular bubbles.
Yes.
So that's my way of applying that one.
Got it. Mine is Get Crackin' because it is a traditional Dutch sampler, then divided by a small band sampler on the side.
That's cool.
Let's see, number 4. Stitch on a whip that uses something, fabric, floss, or a pattern that you have received or purchased or have been gifted from outside of your country of residence, and tell us the country it was sent from.
I think I did. I didn't have anything that jumped to mind, so I think I did alternate stitches for that one. I did get a couple of my whips were racks from people, like the museum shelf was a rack and the Sunday Delight that I already showed was a rack. So I may have used those, but I probably did alternate stitches on that. Now, next year I'll have something from my Australia friend coming in the mail, but I didn't have it and I can't start anything.
Third on my list of jobs today.
Yes.
Okay. I'm the same color. I have got racked patterns and things, but strangely enough, most of my stitching stuff came from my country, but any of my CXC came from China. So
Yeah.
it's from overseas, and I bought it from overseas. So really,
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that's a good idea.
yeah. Well, it's because I was instantly thinking my Anzac I'm stitching with silks for you, but for me, that's my country. So I can't use that one.
Mhm.
Well, and you know, I have silks too. I have a project that I'm doing in silks from Silks for You, and that's from another country. I never even thought about it.
There you go. Lori?
I'm similar to that, Carla. I bought hand-dyed silk from Rolanda in Canada. So she's on Etsy, hand-dyed by Rolanda. And so on Get Cracking, I subbed some of her colors. So
Cool.
and
Can you hear Max?
yes, I
sorry.
get it. Cute.
He's sitting right behind me.
The very last prompt is number 5, stitch on a whip with a border.
Oh, what did I use for that? A whip with a border. Hubby's coming to get Max. I don't remember what I used, but I know what I could use, and that would be the Blue Flowers Night Walk Down.
Definitely.
I think there's some girls in Fun Day Stitchers that are going to be doing this as a sal coming up. So I heard them talking this weekend. So, and I have it started on that fabric.
Look at that fabric. That's brilliant.
I know it's beautiful fabric, perfect for that. But
yeah,
so I'll be getting that out and working with it.
Well, boring. There's border all the way around the outside. There is a square border around Anzac. This piece just is good for so many things.
It's on my list of starts for next year.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
yep. And I'm going to show Get Cracking one more time just because I'm going to point out something. Yeah, I do love it. The border between the band sampler and the traditional sampler, just to demonstrate that the border doesn't have to go all the way around to be a border.
That's true. That is true.
That's
it for last week. Yeah. All right. What do we got for this week, Carla?
Okay, let me see here. I was already had my thing up. This week, I had a hard time this week. So this, and you wouldn't think, but it's Doctor Who week. And that goes through until the 5th of November. And so for these prompts for this week, the stitch count is 300 or 3 hours or 404 hours. And the first prompt is asking, so it is talking about the break. Doctor Who was not running continuously since 1963. But even with the break, it is still in the Guinness Book of World Records as the longest running sci-fi show. Stitch on your oldest whip. So, my oldest whip.
I'm trying to think, what is my oldest whip? I know what I came up with for my newest whip for something, but my oldest whip now is probably really, I'm trying to find her, my Snow Angel. Yep, here she is. So she is my oldest whip and she is on my knock it over list. I am doing well on my knock it over. I've knocked over 9 so far.
Oh my.
So I need to do some work on her, but that can come later in the week. So she's my oldest. Let's get some work done on her. Lori?
How about you, Lori?
Cozy Cove. And you know, this photo is actually the photo of my pattern cover because it is so old, like 2003 maybe. So there you go.
And my oldest whip, I looked, and this isn't a very good picture, but it's what I have. It's the Early American series. And I have been working my way through the series, and I'm up to Martha Washington. So that is my oldest whip that I have. Now that's still left that I haven't finished.
Yes.
So
Give it some love this one.
let me pull back up here where we were. Sorry, got to use my phone today because my computer's doing stupid stuff. Okay, so the second prompt for this week is to stitch on a piece where the title of the chart starts with any one of the letters in TARDIS. TARDIS.
And Zach starts with A.
Yes. You haven't seen it yet, but as the leaves turn.
Oh, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And mine would be Rise of the Witches. But I gotta flip here and see if I can find it real quick. And that's the one that has the black cat, which has also been doubled with many other groups this week. So I could use it because of Halloween prompts.
Yep.
And Rise of the Witches is coming. There it is. It's a story keep that I'm working on, and it is by Lisa Parks. And it's got the cat, and there's a witch in there too. So
Awesome.
the next prompt is to stitch on something that pertains to a friendship.
Okay. Well, I think I'm going to be, because I'm focusing on for my oh no, I don't want to do this for this one because of the monthlies, but I think there's so many of my pieces pertain to friendship because of I stitch them with people, or but I think maybe my very scary Halloween mini series, because I reckon each one of these has friendship. Those two gnomes cutting the pumpkin be friendship. And I'd like to point out, this is a Twin Peak Primitives. And I always point out the fact that it's heaps bigger than it looks. But I'm struggling with this middle one because the colors on the color chart are not actually what are charted on this pattern. So if you're going to do this one, I suggest emailing them before you try and start it to find out, well, what exactly are you meant to use for his pants and his hat and his shirt? Because those colors aren't in the other two. And the chart only has the colors that actually cover the top and the bottom one. There are symbols charted that are not on the color key. So I've been inventing it myself. And as a result, I actually have a blood moon, and I have yellow eyes in my pumpkin, but I don't care.
Hey, it's got a candle in there.
It's fine. But it's because the chart wasn't there, and I went, oh, maybe they meant that symbol, before I realized it was missing lots of them.
Yes, I am going to explain this one out. In Get Cracking, you see the two people tragically on a sinking broken ship. I bet they're friends.
If not, they soon will be.
Yes, tragedy brings us together, unfortunately.
Yes. And I'm going to use my, because I really have been having fun stitching on my Randall Spangler Sunday Delight. And so I'm using that again because he is making a Sunday for his friend up there that's looking down, and this was a rack for me from my friend Joni. So every time I stitch on it, I think of her, and I am in the cherry jar right now. So I'm excited. I've made it to the cherries. Let's see. The next prompt is, let me get back there. We did the friends, stitch on a piece that is part of a series.
Okay. Well, first thing that comes to mind for me for a series on my list of 21 in 21 is my Spring House Trio. Waxing Moon Designs have a series of the seasons and other holidays with the houses. So for me, I will be bringing that one out quite happily to stitch on.
For me, this little guy here, I've been vacillating on which one to start. And I think if I start in January now, might be able to keep up, maybe.
I've been going back and forth because that October one that just got released is looking really cute. And I don't know
Yes,
that I'll keep up, but I'm going to try. I think those are bigger than what we think.
yeah.
I'm going to use my early American series. So we already showed it. I don't need to show it again, but that's one I really do need to get some. That's going to be on my 22 and 22 because I think if it's there, I'll get it finished. If not this year, next year. So, and it's my oldest whip, so it's time to get it off the list. The next prompt is to stitch on a piece you can tie to Christmas.
Well, I've already shown you, but the first thing that comes to my mind for Christmas is the 12 days of Christmas. And if I'm already going to be collecting instruments.
Yes. I don't have a started Christmas whip yet. Well, I did an ornament, but I started it and finished it really quick. So I will show you what I intend to start very soon, next month, probably a couple weeks. Christmas mood. This is me during Christmas. You know,
Oh,
I
that's
kind of
so
want to
cute.
celebrate. I'm throwing a hat, something, and my light's dim.
Your eyes are sleepy and it's like,
That
yay.
is so cute. I like it. I like it. I could do my full coverage. I think that is Christmas. I think
Sure.
that's oh yeah. What's the name of that one?
Don't know, but it's got the North Star in it. So you the Christmas
Yeah, it
star.
went right out my head anyway. And then I have the little ornaments from that I did one and I probably should do the other ones, but I need to do the other ones. And those are by Madam Ice. And there's 4, but there's 3 in my picture. So I've done the walrus and I want to do the deer and the Santa.
So cute.
Okay. The last prompt, and it's a bonus prompt, was to stitch on a design, stitch on a project with the same designer, something that you've stitched before from the designer. The key is here, stitch on a piece that is from a designer you've stitched before. So if you can get bonus tokens up to 3 if you share a photo of that stitch of what that piece was. And
Ooh, well, there's plenty I could do for that. I'm just not sure which one I want to do. I have so many options. Does it have to be one you've finished before, or?
it doesn't really say, it just says to stitch on a designer you've stitched before. So it doesn't really say it has to be finished, but if you have a picture of the piece, you can get 3 bonus tokens.
3 bonus tokens is worth trying to do. I would have to think about that because I mean, you know, Little House Needle works, but I'm just not sure if I have any of them on my current list because I just finished one. I also could stitch on, oh, I know what I'll do. I'm going to stitch on a piece by Paddock Lane Designs. My next job today is to do a design and I'm going to have to do the model stitch. So I'm going to take the easy option, and it's not a secret model stitch, sort of, but I won't get enough done. It'll be fine.
I'm going to go for Coffee Quaker. I just finished Grounding Forest, which is heartstring samplery, and I will just go with Coffee Quaker. I could do Nevermore with Lila Studio, but Nevermore is a zombie run piece, and I try not to use my zombie run pieces in my weekly prompts, you know, because it breaks my flow. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can stitch on the same designer because I do have like Amy Stewart. I've got a couple of her shelves. Jeffrey Severn, I have his Happy Camper I've been working on. I really want to get that done. And there's another one of his that I had started. I don't have it finished yet. And how cute is that? I just think that that's just cute. So I do stitch on the same designer multiple times. I just haven't finished anything by that designer yet. So,
but sure, well, you can only try and see if you get the bonus prompts by
right
putting in there.
Yep.
Huge.
And then it's got your normal 30 minutes a day, your prompt. If you do 30 minutes a day, 5 out of the 7 days.
Awesome. Okay, guys, so that's daily 30, plenty to keep you busy with there, and that gives you your specific prompts. For most of us, that's our specific direction prompt guidance. All right. Next up, we've got Supernatural Stitchers. And this week we are in season 5, episode 14, My Bloody Valentine. And I do feel I can say that because it means about the red stuff that comes out of your body rather than a swear word. But maybe both. Anyway. Okay, remember you do as many stitches as you want in hundreds, and each 100 gets you a bullet that you can apply to money to spend on your stash. I have been particularly slack at doing this lately. I should not be, because then I can go shopping and feel like I've justified it in myself that I've earned them by stitching. All right, there's 12 prompts as usual. Anything you want to do that double dips preferably would be good. Stitch on a project that represents romantic love. Anything come to mind? I've got one for you already, Laurie. You were talking about your friends on Kraken.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there's nothing to say there.
I do think that's. It does kind of look like a girl or boy. I mean, I'm gonna blow that up real quick. Come on, share.
Really?
There we go. That looks like a girl, and that looks like a guy. I don't know why.
It does to me too. So
okay.
I feel like you could probably swing that they were holding, because they're holding hands. So
Yes.
it's like, I love you. I'm going to support you from this sinking ship because you're my lover.
Yes.
What about you, Carla?
Apparently my husband thinks now is a good time to run the carpet shampooer right outside the door here. So I will keep muting, but I would use Phantom of the Opera.
Yes.
I shouldn't complain. He's cleaning. However,
Yes.
it might not be the right time to be doing that.
Don't say no. Let it do. Let him do. Well, I struggle with this one. I think I would have to go with My Stitch in Time, because these two people here, I feel like that's a boyfriend and a girlfriend, or a husband and wife. And that's about the only thing I have that is romantic love. Okay, the next prompt. Oh, we don't have to. Laurie, you'll love this. We don't have to talk about it, but any of the letters for your designer, your design company, first name, last name, or the title of the piece, release the Kraken.
That's
so
funny.
any that have the letters RELASTHKN.
Yeah.
Any of those letters. So I'm sure that'd be easy, and I know exactly what Laurie would do.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is stitch on a project that relates to reggae music or culture, or a tropical paradise.
Wait. I would do probably, since I started this, tropical, right up in there. Yeah.
Yes, definitely the tropical on the top of Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I have Happy Camper, or not Happy Camper, what is this? California Dreaming, I believe. And you got some palm trees and the Airstream and the ocean. That's tropical.
Yep.
Okay, for me, I would do my Anzac, because the islands that are around the Pacific are a tropical paradise. There's plenty of birds and things there, a tropical paradise, but also I noticed yesterday, and it took till yesterday for me to notice up here near the spider, there's music notes.
Yeah.
So people are dancing and singing and having fun on some of those tropical islands. That's what I think. Okay, next one is stitch on a project that includes a nude figure or an angel, or that has birthday connection. Obviously a birthday suit, I'm guessing.
That's hard. I take it, they have to be like human.
I would take it that way, but again, you know, it's supernatural. It's pretty chilled.
I think I would pass. I'm going to pass.
Okay. Carla's got one.
I got one because on my museum shelf, there's a nude guy right up here,
Oh yes.
and there's a statue there. So I think I could get a pass for that for
Yes.
sure.
I think nude statues counts.
Yep.
Well, for me, and surprisingly, this has not come up in my brain all year. The number of times we've had this prompt, the angel, not the nude person.
Mhm.
I've got angels at the top of the 12 days of Christmas.
You're right.
I have never used that for angel in the like 50 times we've had angel this year.
Yeah.
So there you go. I will go for that angel this time. Okay. Stitch on a project which represents a specific human emotion.
I think I would go with as the leaves turn, because kids are always in motion except when they're asleep, and he's pointing, so he's actively pointing. There you go.
Wondering.
Yes.
Inquisitiveness.
I think I'm going to go with Twilight because that just looks like they're having some emotions. His nose is red, so they're having some kind of emotion.
And you would get your romantic love out of that too, Carla.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah.
All right, for me, the first one that came to mind was, and I know this could fit into the tropical as well, but she is having joy and happiness.
Mhm.
My South American angel. Okay, next one is stitch on a project that contains luggage in some form. Luggage. Ooh.
That's a little bit harder.
Yeah, well, travel has luggage.
I was going to say you have it. Yeah, well, travel bookshelf.
Yeah.
I don't know that I have anything I haven't shown already that would have luggage. So
I am just looking to see if there's a suitcase or anything in my stitch in time. Someone might have a suitcase sitting on the floor, maybe. I'm not sure. Luggage does not jump out in my repertoire much. I have things to carry luggage, but I don't know if I have any luggage, but that's okay. Next one is okay, another one of these weird ones. Stitch on a project that shows someone wearing jewelry or includes metallic thread or has a horse.
oh well, I got,
but they're just the combination of them is very
Random.
bizarre.
Yeah. You want to go, Carla, or you want me?
I can. I have Prairie Life Sampler by Heartstring Samplers, and it has horses.
Yes, it does.
Whoop.
I would go with as the leaves turn, the horses. I know we switched Cozy Cove, maybe then they have horses too. Yeah.
And again, though, remember when I try and do this, I try and do a different piece for each, which is why I haven't been doing it lately, because I've been very sort of semi-monogamously stitching. All right, first one that came to mind for me is Joy to the World because of the horse. Joy to the World is Twin Peak Primitive, so I could also use it for the one that's by the same artist somewhere. But the other thing I was thinking of,
you have friends on there too that are shopping.
Yes, but also my snow angel, she's an angel and she uses metallic thread. So I've got quite a few choices to see how I want to play things this week. The next one is stitch on a project that includes a cow. I know what one you're gonna do. Or other source of red meat for humans. I don't think horse counts as red meat. I mean, officially it would be, I guess. And I guess people probably ate them in the olden days when they needed to, but Go on, Laurie. Show us the cow. We know you've got it.
Well, yeah, it would be in Cozy Cove. So let me share my screen. I've got so many photos open. I'm just having to narrow this down so it'll be easier for me to select. Where is it? You know, Lisa, I'm always on it. I'm not on it. There you go. Okay. My cows are way in the field back there.
And they were a great find quite a few months ago, and they've come in very handy over the year.
Yes, since I won't finish Cozy Cove.
No.
Always there.
You always got the cow. Well, I don't have a cow that jumps out at me, but I do know where I live, they do things called bear hunting. And my bears from Happy Camper, although I wouldn't hunt them myself, I do have family that do. So there would be that for another source of red meat.
Well,
oh, wait a minute. Or a deer.
Yes, deer.
Oh, yeah.
Deer's a big hunting thing.
And again, you won't be surprised, Anzac, because primarily the kangaroo is a source of red meat that people in Australia, some do eat. Not me, but people do. Okay, well, this one I don't think we need to discuss. Okay, stitch on a whip you've had sitting out of your rotation for at least 6 months. Is there anything you haven't touched for 6 months, or have you got through them all?
No, I haven't gotten through them all.
Yeah, I do. It would be the Zimmerman coverlet, and that's because it's going to be a restart. I started at 1/1, and that's just too hard. It's like harder work than I want to do.
Yes, and it should be a relaxing, fun piece, that one.
Yes. So yeah.
I do have one actually that I haven't. I have two, I think, that I haven't touched since I started them for this year. But I'm trying to find the one. This one is the one that is. I've actually got pulled out to have, believe it or not, to have as a knock it over because I haven't touched it all year. Go figure, my brain. This is Jeanette Douglas's Up on a Tree sampler, and it's got 4 trees, but it's tiny and it uses specialty stitches. So it's actually not going to take me long to do once I get onto it. So it's been out of my rotation all year.
Mine is probably the Twin Towers, I would say, by Artisy. It's one that I started. I wanted to do. I have family in New York and just have not stitched it this year yet. I don't remember stitching anything on it this year yet. So maybe this week.
That sounds good. All right, number 10. Stitch on a project that has negative space. So any non-full coverage piece, basically. See, when I read that, the first thing I thought of was the negative space. I'm just going to jump in your brain here, Laurie, because I'm talking and that can do that. But the first thing I thought when I heard negative space was I went straight to ones like Anzac, because this bit up the top, to me, that's using the negative space where they've got the black and then they've got the white in the middle, but it's actually just referring to all the normal white.
Yes, negative space. I think I need to pull out my chatelaine, so I will do a Alhambra Garden mandala. And there's a lot of blank space where the black is. So there you go.
That's so pretty.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to hit the easy button because I'm going to use an Ink Circles Fireburn Cauldron Bubble because I'm almost done with this.
Yeah.
So this will not go into next year's whips. It will be done this year because I'm close.
Awesome. Maybe you can knock it over, Carla.
I might, but I'm knocking my scarecrow over first.
Oh,
since Gary
yes,
didn't wait for me.
Yeah.
So see, Gary and I've been neck and neck all year, and we talked last week, and we decided we were going to wait till Halloween and finish it together. So I put my scarecrow away, thinking that Gary was also putting his away, and we were going to get together on a Zoom and do our last stitches together until Gary posted the finish last night. So I did what we had agreed to do, but Gary did not. So I'm going to get mine finished this week and be done with my scarecrow on Halloween as I originally planned with Gary, but I'll do it by myself.
Sounds good. Well, you enjoy it. You can stitch on Zoom with the rest of us and get your scarecrow done with us instead
Yep.
of with Gary.
And then this will be next up to get it finished. So
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds good. Well, some people will go to any lengths to cheat, won't they?
that old bugger.
Okay. Next one then is stitch on a project which you're currently obsessed or intoxicated.
Well, right now it would be my sociable scarecrow.
Well, yeah, for obvious reasons.
Because I had tucked it away in another room so I wouldn't touch it because I was really enjoying stitching on it. I'd have been done already, but I put it away.
Yes. What about you, Laurie?
I've been focused on the bee comes, and I'm about to finish it. So I would be obsessed with finishing that, when it's close to finish and you just can't put it down. I have to fill in that flower and the bee wings, and I will be, and initials, and I will be done.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting. Well, contrary to what you might think, the piece that I would actually do for this one is my very scary Halloween mini-series. Because it is Halloween this week, and even though I don't celebrate it here, I feel like it's appropriate to be stitching on it this week. So I want to try and still knock this over as quickly as possible and get it done. My plans for Knock It Over, I did set 18 projects, which I knew I would not get 18 done, but there's 18 projects that I think I can get done by the end of the year. So I put them on my Knock It Over list. So I just want to keep working through them. So this one I think is actually the one that I'm going to be working on. And lucky last, stitch on your simplest project, the smallest one or the one with the fewest colors.
You kind of broke up. Simplest one, smallest one, or the one that has
fewest colors?
Well, that would be my ink circles for me.
Mm-hmm. It would be One Nation for me. Everybody's seen it, but let's go. 3 colors.
Yeah.
Red, white, and blue. For me, I would actually be doing one that I haven't mentioned to you, and very fitting again as well. I have 2 colors in my All Hallows Eve by Joan Elliott, and so that would be the one I would do. I'm doing that in a beautiful purple silk sphere. So that, people, ends the discussion on Supernatural for the week. So it does mean Supernatural, people, you're only going to get every second week's prompts gone through for you. But, I'm sure that you can use your brain and your creativity. And if you ever need help, then you can always come and join us on the NoNewStarts Zoom. There's heaps of helpful people there who would help you with coming up with ideas. So always.
And if you ever sign in and nobody's on there, just post in the group. And if there's people available, they'll jump in. So, because I know some weekdays it's a little hit and miss.
I'm going to actually start a chat for the Zoom specifically, just for the, hey, I'm Zooming, not for chatting, because there's nothing worse than people who have a chit chat on a group chat. And you get, I woke up this morning to 123 messages and I went, whoa, what went down last night? But it was just someone asking lots and lots and lots of questions. It was nothing I needed to care about. It's like you could do a PM for that. But anyway. All right. So what's happening in Semisane this week?
That would be me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So whip days. We've got, I lost my spot. I'm there. I'm just waiting on my browser to get there with me. Oh, we have lots of stuff coming up, but we have Choose Your Whip round 4 is just finishing up. I think it just started on the 24th today. Whip days for October, we are at really quick, the 20th, 31st, Magic Day, and we just passed Slot Day on the 20th. So Magic Day is all we have left, and that's any whip with something to do with magic, witches, or Harry Potter.
Rather easy at this time of year, one would think.
Absolutely easy. And then let's see, anything else going on that we didn't talk about monthly?
alphabet is up to letter V for Victor.
Yes.
So getting to the end of the alphabet now. Carla, how's your alphabet going?
Yeah, no, not so much. I think I fell off after letter B.
Oh, wow.
I
Laurie, we're doing
I
great.
worked on that project for much of the year. So that might maybe I'll try that again next year with the same project.
Yeah, it's who knows if they'll have it, but I liked it. It's a great idea. I am still on P for potato, but I do have to do my zombie run. I haven't done my zombie run yet for this month. So that will get me up to date.
I will get up to L, and yeah, I'm not going to finish this year, but I like it. I will finish it, but not this year.
Okay, there we go. I think that's all that's happening there.
Yeah.
We've got Mythological Stitchers. Their weekly event is week 4 of Honoring the Dead, and it's Barreletes Gigantes. So this is from a Guatemalan kite festival, or Festival de los Barreletes Gigantes. Is a mix of ancient rituals and beliefs, modern festivities, and national pride. So it's basically lots of beautiful colors and exquisite designs in the kite festival. First one, stitch 200 stitches on a project you're working on it with a team, such as a stitch along.
Yep, nope, alphabet's the closest to that.
Yeah, I think for me, that's probably what I would do too, because I don't think I have any I purposely been not stitch alonging with anyone. I've got some in mind for next year, but yeah. What about you, Laurie?
Language of Flowers, I'm with you. I have some 1 or 2 things planned for next year, but nothing this year besides the alphabet.
All right, stitch on a project, 200 stitches that is brightly colored or has a kite in it. Ooh, Laurie.
I don't have anything with a kite. I don't have anything with a kite.
As the leaves turn is pretty bright. So I would go with that probably, or yeah.
I would go with my South American angel because she's full of bright colors, and she's from South America, so that would be rather fitting for a Guatemalan kite festival.
My Rosy Knight's bright colors, but
she is.
No,
but you could double dip color and do that one of those campers, your tropical camper.
Oh yeah, that's true. That has some bright colors.
We want to try and double dip as much as possible. 200 stitches on a project that has something you could use to scare away any unwanted spirits.
How about the witch in my Randall Spangler? It would scare away unwanted spirits.
She definitely would.
I think it's the trick or treat. I think that would work.
Yeah, I would go with my friendly guardian gnome. I don't even know if that's what gnomes do, but they're in yards for a reason, right? So I would go with the gnome and I'd try to explain it out.
Well, I would be double dipping my scary Halloween with those, exactly with the witches. Or down the bottom, there's a picture of a dog. There's a dog dressed up in Halloween costume. He might scare away spirits too.
Oh, there you go.
And lucky last, 200 stitches on a project that communicates an idea or something you want people to be aware of.
Oh. Well, the B comes for me.
Yes. Anything for you, Carla?
Well, anytime you look at constellations, it makes you reflect on ideas and things you can do, right? When you're camping. I'll make a story. I could make a story out of it.
You sure could. I really don't have much. I guess for me, probably the only thing I have that I can even think of that would be relevant to this one would be my joy to the world. Because I do wish people joy in the world, peace, and goodwill and kindness.
Yes. Are you done with your motivational minis?
Yes, I am.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
there's another lot coming, but they're not here yet. Yes, so that's why I don't have anything, because I finished them.
Yeah.
Good thought. So there you go. So that's mythological. So what else is happening in it? We forgot last fortnight to talk about all the other groups. Carla, other games and groups that you're playing in the moment. Are there any you want to tell us anything that's happened in them?
Well, the Dynasty, Dragon Dynasty, they're doing a harvest for the month, so there really hasn't been anything dynasty wise. We've just been traveling to different vendors and stitching and spinning a wheel, so that's really kind of been the whole month.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I have. I mean, we have a pirate ship that we've been, fighting our way with the pirates, and the our recent alien attack in another group.
Survival of the Stitchiest. It's been an exciting week, really. Survival of the
has
Stitchiest
been.
has just finished an alien attack, and we in our group had to kill 13 aliens at 3,000 stitches each.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really pleased because our team did a good effort, and 4 of our team did over 3,000 stitches each for it was like, was it 3 days? It wasn't long.
3 days.
It wasn't long.
And what's really funny, I was counting it up because I like data and things, and I was just interested to see, how did we go? What was the breakdown? And the person I thought did the most, I added her up first, and let's say she got 3,541 stitches, something like that. And then I looked at the person who I thought was equally as good, and she got 3,542. Our top 2 stitches were 1 stitch apart from each other. Like, who'd have thought? That's just hilarious. So congratulations to both of them. They know who they are. MVPs, both of them, 1 stitch apart. Like, brilliant effort.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the team got at least over 1,500 or 2,000, because 3,000 stitches in 3 days is a huge ask for a regular stitcher, especially for the Americans, where the first day was a work day. Well, the first 2 days were work days, I think.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was because it was designed in European time zone, so it hit there Friday night, I think. Perfect for Aussies. We had a ball, so it was good. I fit in perfectly well with 24 hours of cross stitch that just happened. So that's the last one, I think, for the year, for the 24 hours of cross stitch. Other exciting group news, any others from you, Laurie, before I come back with others if you forget them?
No, just Semisane released their 2022 event schedule. That was kind of exciting to look and to plan and to see. I don't have any other ones in my notes. Carla hit Dynasty of Dragons.
You guys are forgetting the other exciting news.
Well, Crystal kind of disbanded, so Crystal Academy is no more.
That's not the exciting news, but yes, Crystal Academy is having a hiatus. So basically, it's on the shelf for however long the admins feel like it.
Mm-hmm.
No, we just had another exciting week, girls, and you're missing it.
Utopia?
No, but that's happening as well. Utopia is having fun and traveling and things like that. No, we had the amazing race. Is concluding. And neither of you mentioned it. I gave you the chance.
So you think you can stitch?
So you think you can stitch. The first game, the amazing race, is just in the process of concluding, and the sole stitchers, of which all 3 of us are members, there are 5
along
4 of
with
us.
our friend Crystal. There's 4 of us.
Yes, Crystal.
We came in first on the mat again for all 8 legs, and it was a big effort, and we had to work really hard, and it was heaps of fun and a couple of days. So kudos to Heather for organizing that one. It was lots and lots and lots of fun, and the second team only just checked in today.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So that's amazing.
Yes.
It was a lot of fun, and it was a coordinated effort. So when you are in a team, like there's challenge groups that are individual challenge groups, which I think NoNewStarts tends to be more individual challenges. And then there's challenge groups that are more teams focused. And we were talking about this on Zoom, like Utopia is a team focused challenge group. And that amazing race ended up being a team challenge because we couldn't do it if we weren't communicating to each other as to where we were and who needed to do what. So it really worked out well. And we made some new friendships, and I think strengthened our current friendships a
Yes.
lot. We know
Yeah.
who is really competitive in our group.
And
Christy.
reliable, more than competitive. Who's reliable?
Yes, reliable. There was many mornings I got up before going to work to put some stitches in so I didn't hold up the rest of the team. So,
And we all did
That
that.
was
So yeah,
fun.
what Carla's saying
Yeah.
though is if you are not able to be in a team competitive group, don't play in that game because
Yeah.
the
Right.
team needs you. And the team is only as strong as its weakest player.
mhm,
Yes, and look ahead in your schedule.
Yep.
Because if
Right.
it's a 3-month long and you know you have vacations planned or you have a lot of kid commitments or work commitments, yeah, plan ahead. Not just
Yep.
what's going on right now. Yeah.
But if you just want to do some things to get your stitching done and have a bit of incentive, then yes, the daily 30 is individual. Semisane is usually individual. NoNewStarts is individual. There's lots of individual things where you can still feel like you're part of the crew, but you can work at your own pace, and that's great for everybody. Another thing to point out with NoNewStarts is we do have timed and non-timed, counted and timed options for most of our games because we appreciate that not everyone's a counter. So you can
Right.
do
We're not trying to convert anybody that's not a counter to be a counter.
no.
And so really exciting though is the yearly, because we're going to go traveling and I'm excited about that. So
So
Can't
you
wait.
think you can stitch is heading to an individual game in November, which is a minute to win it. We don't know any details about it, but we'll let you know when we know. And I think that's most of the ones that we're involved with now. So lots happening, lots of fun. Work out what you want to do, get your plans in place for next year, and we will be back next week with a rather large monthly.
yeah.
So until then, guys, happy stitching.
Happy stitching. Bye.